The Kano Governorship Election Petition Tribunal has sacked Governor Abba Kabir Yusuf, declaring the All Progressives Congress APC candidate Nasiru Gawuna as the winner of the March 18 election in Kano State. The three-man panel, after hearing the petitions, deducted 165,663 votes from Yusuf's total as invalid votes, stating that the affected ballot papers were not stamped or signed and therefore declared invalid. The panel ordered the withdrawal of the certificate of return, which INEC presented to Yusuf, and directed a certificate of return to be issued to Gawuna. Governor Yusuf, who contested on the platform of the New Nigeria People's Party, NNPP, was declared the winner of the election by the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, after the poll in March. Joining us now on the morning show to discuss the party's rejection of the tribunal verdict is Ladipo Johnson, spokesperson of the New Nigeria People's Party, NNPP. Good morning, Ladipo Johnson, and thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me. Good morning.
Good morning.
Well, your party has rejected the position of the tribunal, but we know that the party has also signified its determination to go on appeal all the way to the Supreme Court. But as spokesperson of the party, looking at the details of that ruling by the lower court, all the grounds of petition filed by APC were found in favor of the APC. So what's your take?
Well, there are two arms to it. I'm a legal practitioner, but of course, I'm on the political side of things. I wasn't at the tribunal. But first, from what you said, sir, the so-called votes that were not stamped or signed were tendered, not even tendered by a witness, tendered after the APC had closed their case, tendered from the bar. So the NNPP had no opportunity to cross-examine on those ballot papers. That's one. Two, more importantly, and I think it's section 63(2) of the Electoral Act,
yes,
says that where the presiding officer,
that's correct,
where there's no stamp or when it isn't signed, if the presiding officer feels that, yes, this thing came out of the, maybe the packs that they're given from the ballot papers, if he's convinced it comes from that, then he allows it. And so why weren't they rejected by agents at those polling units? All these things give us healthy and robust grounds for appeal. That is one. Two, if you found that you had deducted 165,000 plus votes from the NNPP, so by some miracle, it's only the NNPP votes that were affected around the states. But if you deduct that, then it comes down to 800 and something. There's a difference of 25,000. 36,000. And there were 70,000 that were rejected earlier. Why didn't you order a rerun? So these two things, and I'm sure many other things, our legal team will look at those things. But as I said, though I'm a legal practitioner, I'm on the political side of things. I wasn't at the tribunal, but I am very confident that we have proper grounds of appeal, and we will take up those grounds.
All right, so you will take up the grounds for appeal, and as we talked about earlier today, and which you just explained, one of the main areas which we had x-rayed was this whole stamping of the ballots, or the lack of stamp on the ballots. And we had brought in INEC's position or INEC's role in this. You talked about your agents. How many, did you have your agent at all these polling units that were identified?
Okay. Yes, we did. That's another thing. The APC case was that there was overvoting, violence, etc., etc. in over 1,000 units, and they only brought 30-something witnesses. And each one the witness has to be from that polling unit.
Yeah.
So you can imagine. But we try to restrain ourselves.
What was your agent's reports from the polling units? Because I'm sure you had your NNPP agents.
Yes.
What was the report given by the agents? Did they complain at any point of a dereliction of duties by INEC officials at these polling units? What reports were made if you found any challenges or issues in these polling units? I'm
not in a position to give you an accurate report on that. Naturally, you have elections and there'll be complaints. I mean, for the gubernatorial, I was in Kano for the gubernatorial elections, and I saw ballot boxes being snatched in some places, Dala, local government, Fage. You know, I was able to see some of the things. And we're not saying it's a perfect situation, but I don't know what complaints our own agents put forward. But I think substantially it was done properly. It was announced by INEC. And then I now have this gymnastics that came yesterday via Zoom. You understand? You begin to wonder. For me, sir, I might understand that, maybe the judges felt insecure or there were security reports. But I have it on good information that the judges arrived in Kano. And then they were whisked away in private jets and then came by Zoom the following day. So the people on ground, the average Nigerian would think that there's something going on. I might understand that, well, maybe the tension, and they had to move them out.
Anyway, what you said is a claim. We cannot independently
Exactly,
verify
I know
that.
that.
So
I know that.
I just needed to state that out. But I'd like to ask you this.
Yeah.
They also brought up the issue of registration of the candidates. Said the INEC, the list of members that was sent, membership that was sent to the INEC, that his name was not on it. So was he duly registered?
That has been decided.
No, that was part of the pleas, yesterday by the APC.
Yes.
Secondly, I want to go back to this issue of this polling units and the likes. When, like you claim now, that all of this evidence brought forward as regards paper no stamp, you people didn't have a time to rebut to it.
Yeah, it was submitted from the bar.
It was submitted from the bar.
From the bar after the.
Why was there no alarm raised? And prior to this time, there was also a protest in Kano about the eventuality of the tribunal ruling. Can you tell us more about what happened around that the protesters marched up to meet the governor? But why didn't you guys raise an alarm in court when that evidence was brought and you people could not, cross-examine that evidence?
I think they did. They did that. But, such objections, it was objected to, do not gain traction until things like this happen. You understand? Regarding the protests, you cannot blame them because it's all 2019 happening all over again.
But a lot of people claim they were impugning on the judiciary, but they didn't have evidence, and that was wrong.
You see, you can't say that when you have things like this, you have the masses, you have people at the grassroots level telling you that, in 2019, the judiciary took away their victory, and they don't want it to happen now. The average man on the streets, the man selling onions and whatever, cannot begin to give you that this particular judge, this person, this. It won't happen.
So it's just sentiment. So there's no fact against the judiciary that the judiciary, did anything in contravention. It's just sentiments. That's what you're saying.
Well, the sentiments, unfortunately, have been aided
but
by.
Prove it. You have no proof.
No, I'm not claiming they did it.
Yeah,
I'm telling you that
no
the
proof.
average man feels that it has been done. What I'm doing, or the party is doing, is going to court.
But the sentiment,
going on appeal.
The sentiment might be misguided by politicians.
I cannot. No, not politicians. By the masses. I cannot go to
Who sells the sentiment to the masses?
Well, you show me where a politician stood on a rostrum and said, oh, the judiciary is taking it away from us. Show me where one of the NNPP people said that.
Well, in any case,
you understand?
That's immaterial
okay.
Because the court will not rule on the basis of sentiment.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm saying that we're going based on the facts, based on the judgment, based on the misdirection of the judges. That is what we're appealing on. Not on the sentiments of the streets.
I'm going to give you the facts.
Yes. Sorry.
After the march and the protest based on the sentiments of the street, the governor accepted the protesters. As said, he understood their concerns.
Yes.
Is that not bolstering the sentiment in the first place?
No, would you?
Is that not bolstering the sentiment?
If your staff come to you and say something is happening and they feel something is happening.
Was the protest organic?
You will say, naturally it could have been
organic. Was it organic?
Wasn't it organic?
Okay, can we return to the case?
You cannot say it wasn't organic.
No, look, the court doesn't...
You have no proof.
The court of law will not rule on the basis of the sentiments of the mob.
Yeah.
That's completely
Definitely.
material.
That's why we spoke earlier about...
Okay, on your grounds of appeal,
you
quoted 63.2, and you quoted directly, and that's of the Electoral Act.
Yes, I think, I hope I have
what it says is that if the returning officer is satisfied that a ballot paper which does not bear the official mark was from a book of ballot papers which was furnished to the presiding officer of the polling unit in which the vote was cast for use at the election in question, he or she shall, notwithstanding the absence of the official mark, count that ballot paper. The emphasis here is on he or she shall, which is mandatory.
Mandatory, and they did.
Now, okay, fine.
They did. And INEC announced the results.
That could be an issue, a ground of appeal.
Yes, definitely.
But you talked about their lordships, delivering their ruling via Zoom. Now, is that an issue? You will recall that during COVID-19, there were practice directions from the Judicial Council, NJC.
I'm not saying it was illegal, sir.
Okay.
I'm not saying
because you were trying to raise doubts.
You see, there are two things
about
it.
Yeah.
There are two sides. First, I spoke about the facts.
Yeah.
And I then said that for me, I may understand the fact that maybe there were security issues. And that's why they felt they had to deliver by Zoom. Remember I said that?
Yeah.
But for the average man on the street, my brother is saying maybe not organically, you understand? For the average man on the street, is not good optics.
Well, is the average man a reasonable man?
Exactly.
Because
not good optics. That's what I'm saying. There are two sides to it. The appeal is, law, reason, whatever. We have to be responsible.
Well, you threw out the case of a private jet picking people and picking
judges. Hang on.
You said that, just
hang on.
I mean, you put it out on the air.
Hang on.
So you did say that.
On.
And that's why I said we cannot independently verify the story.
Exactly.
Because in
I'm not asking you. I never asked you to I didn't say Ladipo was there. I said I had it on good authority.
So if you said you had it, why would you put it out on a public platform like this?
Yes, I said together with other things, it's not good optics.
All right.
And you have the average man saying all sorts of things.
Okay, so it's not good optics, and the reason why we are bringing this out is because of the fragile state of Kano State currently. There's been a curfew ordered by the Commissioner of Police, and it's important to check the narrative so that we're not promoting what would hit up the polity. But I'd like you to speak to that. The governor has said that, despite the ruling,
he said that they should remain calm.
Yes, they should remain calm. He's still the governor. He's still going to have the Federal Executive Council meeting today. Is that still going to go on?
Yes, I believe it will. He will. He'll be there. Right. They'll file their notice of appeal and a stay.
So what's the NNPP doing in terms of its people, its members, to manage expectations? Because what you're saying, and you said that you didn't impugn on the justice's integrity, but he did say it was a lopsided judgment. He criticized the fact that I mean it's difficult to not say that. He was also saying that it wasn't. He said it was unfair. He said it was ridiculous. So there were insinuations that it wasn't rightly judged, and there was some, and which you also alluded to.
There's nothing wrong with that. Even in your appeal brief, you say it on your grounds of appeal. You can say that the judgment is not in line with the facts before the court.
All right.
There's nothing wrong with him saying it was lopsided.
So in terms
the important thing
yes.
is that he has said to the people please remain calm. The important thing is that maybe a week ago, when one of the commissioners said something, you understand, he immediately sacked him. That's the important thing. On his side, on the side of the party, we've done what we can do. You see? But at the end of the day, Ladipo Johnson lives in Lagos. He doesn't stay in Kano. He wasn't there in 2019 when they felt that they were robbed. And they'll tell me to go to hell if they are annoyed. If I go there and say, oh, you understand, just accept it, they won't. But the bottom line is we have to follow due process.
All right, in terms of general assessment, you have, the NNPP must have had results from different tribunals sitting across the country. How would you assess the process so far in terms of the elections, the procedure of challenging some cases in courts, the ruling of tribunals so far? How would you assess it generally?
Well, again, it would be difficult for me to give you specifics. I've been busy talking about us still being the National Working Committee, Kwankwaso not being suspended. You don't understand, we've been busy in the past few weeks with some people who are suspended from the party. So I haven't been able to follow all the results from the various petitions and tribunals. But be that as it may, this is one that I will seek to read the entire judgment. It affects us absolutely. There have been some on some of the House of Reps and everything that we're also appealing.
That's why I asked for a general assessment in terms of what has, because in some tribunals, in some sittings, your members have been sacked, not just in Kano State.
No,
so
I know.
What is your general assessment of the process, the tribunals, the sittings?
Well, unfortunately, again, at this stage, it is the national chairman and the national legal advisor who look at these things on a day-to-day basis as they happen. Yes, I'm a legal practitioner. Once in a while, I'm called to look at the issues as well, but really I'm the national auditor. And temporarily, I'm speaking on behalf of the National Working Committee and the party.
Which National Working Committee?
The only one. The only one.
All right.
All right. So, coming back to you, sir, because we need to get these things right. There's something called narrative feeding. You came here and you fed a certain narrative.
No,
hang on a minute. Let me speak, please.
Yeah.
You came here, you subliminally and subtly fed a narrative with the private jet narrative.
Yeah.
You know, that some people came in a private jet and the next thing they were zoomed out and they gave the judgment on Zoom and all of that, number one. Do you want to withdraw that narrative or you want to leave it out there as a narrative you got anecdotally out there? Because you see, when you're talking about the narrative feeding and you're talking about the common man, and I argued with you hitherto, that it is still the same political actors that feed the common man. In your speech just now, you also said that when even a certain commissioner said something, he was fired. So these are narratives that have been feeding into the common man. Hence my third question was the protest organic? And I deliberately asked you that. Was the protest organic? And you said, oh, organic. My brother, that protest was beamed live from television. Who paid for the television coverage of that protest?
I don't know. I wasn't there.
So that goes to your allusion of the protest being organic.
If you say that it was beamed live, maybe. But you
so
said
who paid for it?
What I got from you was that they went to the governor's office. I wasn't even aware of it. You said it to me. And he accepted them and he said whatever it did. Yeah, that's fine. So there's nothing.
So if it was beamed live, I mean, there are many protests that happen in Canada that doesn't go live on TV.
Yes, but if that one was beamed live,
so that means it wasn't organic, it was planned, it was organized.
Hang on. The thing there is this. When you say organic, are you saying it just erupted on the streets?
Okay, so you admit
or are you saying...
You admit it's not organic.
Well, you were not specific. You are not specific.
So secondly...
Were you saying it erupted on the streets?
So secondly...
Or some people were there?
So secondly, do you want to withdraw that narrative? Because you see of the private jet. Because with that, you subliminally just impugn on the character of our judges and you have no proof.
No.
I'm just here for the facts. Look, I'm not sentimental, not political.
I don't even know the name of the judges.
Yeah.
Do you understand? From what I've seen, I question not their integrity, I question what they've done. And that's why we're appealing.
You want to stay with the private jets?
Okay.
Well, I will, yes.
Before we go, Johnson.
Yes, sir.
Let me ask you. Tell us about the crisis within your party, the NNPP.
The crisis.
You will recall that
Yes,
the chairman of your party during the election eventually resigned.
Yes, Professor
Then
Akali.
he also, yes, Professor Akali. Then he also further resigned as a member of the party.
Yes.
And that resignation letter as a member of the party was pointing to, issues within the party. Subsequently, Dr. Rabiu Kwankwanso was also dismissed by a faction of the party. You may say there is no faction. then he went to, because that's what politicians say. Then he went to court and they said he's still the presidential candidate and chairman and whatever of the party. Okay, how organized is the NNPP today? Because the party looks like it's in total disarray.
No, the party is
which
not
may be a subtext to all of this.
No, the party is not in total disarray. That's why you have me here. The National Working Committee is in place.
You are still hanging in there.
The National Executive is in place. Unfortunately for those who seem to want to keep throwing stones at us and cast aspersions, especially those who've been suspended and expelled, they did not follow due process. Some of them have gone to court, and we'll meet them in court. It's a simple thing. We follow the Constitution, we follow the Electoral Act, and that is why, with what happened today, it is the National Working Committee of the party that will say, please go on appeal, etc., etc. They're out. Unfortunately, they're out. We're open to discussions and what have you. That has now gone to the back burner. This is in the front burner now. And the National Electoral, INEC rather, Independent National Electoral Commission, have no doubt as to whom they are dealing with. You understand? They've been dealing with the National Executive. They've been at all our meetings. And so we're there. It's a normal thing. When you have issues, you're trying to look at what happened during the elections and you're trying to revamp the party. People will fight back. It's natural. So we're going through a natural process, you understand? But we have to sort out all these other electoral processes and everything.
All right. Well, thank you very much,
Thanks
Mr. Ladipo Johnson,
me.
for your time with us this morning.
Yeah.
Spokesperson for the New Nigeria
Tell
People's
Rufai
Party.
I'm zooming out now.
All right.
Don't feel like that.